I wanted to kind of have you do a gut check today, guys, because I think you're missing the boat. All right, it's Chris Pre. Welcome to this week's Motivational Monday. You know, because we're close to year end, depending on when you're seeing this, I have some simple thoughts for you as far as positioning for 2025. And please keep in mind, I am filming this and coming to you prior to the election. And so some of my thoughts are going to be about that uncertainty, just so you know the context here. But I wanted to kind of have you do a gut check today, guys, because I think you're missing the boat. And I don't want you to take that personally. I think many of you are missing the boat. Now, what do I mean by that? It's not personal, it's just from experience. Because I missed the boat too. Let me explain. So first of all, why am I saying I think you're missing the boat? Well, we are literally changing the landscape of the real estate industry if you look at what we're doing. Our mission as a company is empowering individuals and families to live the life of their dreams. Okay, that's cool. We're also taking buyers and sellers who need or are better off with our path, many of them in tears when we show them the right pathway, and we're clarifying that and giving them a path. And yet we've got, at our recent event in QLS Live in Boston, it was literally, the whole theme was a revolution, a real estate revolution, a wave, if you will. And a lot of time, a revolution, if you look back in history, is caused by what? Frustration. There's frustration in the market right now. There's frustration from a buyer side, from a seller side. There's frustration from a wholesaler because of the legal stuff going on in the tight margins, and a fix and flip side. There's frustration there. There's frustration in the realtor side. If you're a realtor, I'm speaking to you here, because there are, again, tightened fees, more restrictions, more laws, less business right now as of the day I'm filming this. So I could go on and on, guys, but I've been in the deal here this month for 33 years. Builder and investor in some shape, form, or fashion, owned the Realty Executives franchise, sold that to Coldwell Banker. I've been kicking around since 1991. So I will tell you that from a standpoint of looking back in hindsight, I remember my wife saying this to me. We were sitting in our apartment back after the crash. We went to a one-bedroom apartment. Some of you know my story. And I had to re-engineer the whole business, right? After being in my head for 4 years. And when I said at the beginning of this video, I missed the boat too, it's because I did for all those years. I was in business 18 years before the crash, you figure, or whatever that comes to. My wife said to me, kiddingly, facetiously, but accurately, it took you 50 years to figure this out? And we laughed. But the fact is, I was sitting there at age 50, and that's where we were. So I had to re-engineer everything. Okay, cool. Now in hindsight, I can tell you with certainty, if you're an investor listening to this already, or you're a realtor listening to this, you already have a realtor business going, whether you sell 10 homes or 100 homes a year like I used to in the 90s, I don't care. I'm going to segregate those two categories. So if you've got a W-2 right now, this is more of a 10,000 foot view for you and you're looking to get into real estate. But if you're already in the game in some shape, form, or fashion, I can say with hindsight that you're leaving money on the table. As a realtor and as an investor. As an investor, from a wholesaling standpoint, you're throwing away a ton of leads. If you're fixing and flipping, you're throwing away a ton of leads too. A ton of leads that, unbeknownst to you, you could either learn how to do, and we can show you, or you can refer them to our network and we can get them done for you. But why not learn it? Why not transition from, or tack on? I'm not telling you to leave your business. I've got a lot of you are good friends of mine. You've been on my podcast. I know you have good businesses. But why not tack this on or transition into this whereby you can move from sort of the old way of doing real estate, one payday per deal. I did it for many years, 18 to be exact, over to 3 paydays. To creating wealth, to creating a different quality of income. So you're not relying on, I got to go do a deal and then I got to check. I got to go do a deal and I got to check. It's cool. It's good money in real estate. But there's a better way, guys. And so again, if you're in the realm of doing deals as an investor, that's why I say you're missing the boat. And as far as a realtor, I lived your world too. Unfortunately, I lived a lot of these worlds prior to really getting it right. And as a realtor, there are a lot of things that didn't fit in my box in the 90s when I was a realtor, even though we did 100 homes a year. For example, some people didn't want to do a short sale. Some people didn't want to pay me, or some people didn't want to come out of pocket and have to deal with that. 72% of my listings sold, 18% of them didn't. What did I do with those? Nothing. I left. I felt bad. The seller might have been mad. All of those deals that don't fit inside your box right now, as a wholesaler, as a realtor, as a fix flip, you can do many of those inside the creative real estate niche, real estate on your terms as we call it, and not be transactional. So I just want you to think about that as you transition into hypothetically here, depending on when you're watching this, into 2025 and get yourself positioned to really be in a position all of 25 and beyond. You can create a decade of income over the next year or two if you do this right. Be positioned to go, you know what? I don't care what happens after the election. I don't care what happens with the banking. I don't care what happens with interest rates, because I know how to pivot inside of creative real estate. I know how to do real estate on my terms. That's the attitude I want you to have, because there's one constant in real estate. It always changes, right? And if it always changes, why not be able to pivot with it? Why not know how, when, where to change and pivot with it, and know where to fish, so to speak, what pond to fish in for the right sellers and then eventually the right buyers. So just a thought for you. And I got a few gifts for you as usual. If you haven't got my free books yet, guys, go to wickedsmartbooks.com/YouTube. So I know I gifted it here for you on YouTube. And by all means, because this was pretty general, share this video. Comment on the video, but certainly share it with people in your center of influence, because if you're in the business, you know people that are in the business, right? You're in a local REIA or you're doing other things, and they should know about this as well, and they should get to our events. Example, we have in our conference room here in Newport, Rhode Island, a brand new private boot camp where we only bring in 10 to 15 people. We've had it up to like 20, and it gets a little snuggly in there, and we do live deals. And if you bring leads, we're doing your deals for you and with you. So you get the seller calls live. You hear us do these. You see us in the trenches here. And then you see the deal get structured. Then you see the email go out to the seller. Then you get a follow-up call. Then you get an appointment. Like, you see the entire deal. Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/ITT Bootcamp. It stands for In the Trenches Bootcamp. It's by far the best thing we've done. So I want you guys to have a lot of this stuff at your disposal. If you have not, for whatever reason, gone through our QLS home study course, it's free with our apprentice program. But if you haven't done that, go to smartrealestatecoach.com/YTQLS. Just stands for YouTube QLS, YTQLS. Now, what's all this talk, but last but not least, about apprentice? It's amazing, guys. It's super, super, super cool program we've got, where we're tossing about 16 grand worth of coaching at you, literally, for less than our QLS home study sells for on our website. And you get that for free, and part of it, and you get the bootcamp for free. All this stuff's for free. Why? Why are we doing this? We are throwing everything at this prior to the first quarter of 2025 to get all of you into the Wicked Smart community in some shape, form, or fashion. And that, we felt, was the fastest and frankly the cheapest, almost free way to get you in. Go to 3paydaysapprentice.com and check it out. It's really cool. I look forward to meeting you in person. Please email me if you want to get a conversation going, or actually, even better, go right to my link and schedule a free call with me. Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/Chris Pre-Call. CHRESPRE call. We'll get on a call together. If you'd rather email, and you want to keep things kind of a little more private to yourself, send an email to Chris@smartrealestatecoach.com. We can chat that way. Make it a great week. See you on next week's Motivational Monday.